action and reflex arc. A reflex action that occurs in our body suddenly, automatic, immediate responses without proper conscious thought. These responses almost instantaneous, instantaneous and involuntary. Instantaneous and involuntary. Instantaneous and involuntary. So suddenly, instantaneous means what? So it will not take any time. Suddenly and involuntary. Voluntary the actions are not. Involuntary, without proper conscious. A reflex action allows our body to respond spontaneously and immediately without the proper conscious involvement of higher centers of the brain. Those are called reflex actions. A reflex actions responds spontaneously and immediately without the conscious involvement of higher centers of brain. Those actions are called reflex actions. The reflex actions always rapid and without conscious thought, which are instantaneous and involuntary actions. Such kind of actions are called reflex actions. The reflex actions never give chance to think immediately, automatically, without proper conscious, without the involvement of higher centers of the brain. Such kind of actions, such kind of reflexes are called reflex actions. Examples of reflex actions. These reflex actions everybody face in our day-to-day life. In our day-to-day life. Reflex actions. So first example. Generally, whenever in our day-to-day life, if any needy or pain or suddenly or accidentally, if it is pricked to our body, immediately we will withdraw our hand or leg and immediately we will show a kind of a jerk. If it is a hand jerk. If it is a leg jerk. If it is a knee jerk. Suddenly like this we will show. These are called reflex actions. So these reflexes will not give chance to think properly and respond. So that such kind of reflexes are called reflex actions. So generally these reflex actions are various types. When strong wind will blow, at the time, if any dust particles are entered to our eye, immediately we will close our eyes. If we will try to throw any chalk piece or any stone, just action like this, immediately we will try to close our eyes or immediately we will make it turn our head. Why? To protect ourselves without the proper conscious involvement of higher centers of the brain. Suddenly appears. Suddenly occurs. Those are called reflex actions. That is the one example. When strong wind will blow, suddenly we will close our eyes to prevent from the dust particles entering into our eye. Sneezing. When dust particles are inhaled through our nose, at that time we will get sneezings. These are also called reflexes. Those are reflexes. So if we will get any fear or if we will touch cold water, even on our skin, hair follicles becomes straight. When we will touch any hot object, immediately we will withdraw our hand. That is the reflex actions. We don't know when we were in kid, when we were child, infant stage. At that time, if we will touch any hot object, automatically we will cry, and that hot object, it will give hot sense that will be stored in our mind. Next time, automatically by seeing hot object, we will not dare to put our hand. That is one second reflex actions. When bright light is focused on our eye, if bright light is focused, automatically the pupil becomes smaller, constricted, smaller. The pupil smaller in size. When the dim light is focused, when light is not available, at the time the pupil becomes larger. These are commonly happens. When bright light focuses, automatically what? We will close. When bright light, torch light is focused on our eyes, immediately we will close. In the room surface, if it is bright light is focused, then the pupil becomes smaller. In the room surface, if the dark dim light, then automatically the pupil is larger. These are all reflexes. Reflexes. Okay, so these reflexes are carried by the neural fibers from the spinal cord to the pain center. Specific center is present in the brain. To that center it will send. For example, one injection is pricked. Now we are taking injection. At the time of injection, we will not get any pain sensation. After removing the syringe, we will get the pain sensation. Why? So when we are taking injection, at that time, that particular response, that particular action goes to the brain through nerve fibers from spinal cord to the pain center present in the brain. The pain center present in the brain, that center receives that pain. For that receiving, it will take 0.5 seconds, 0.8 or 9 or 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, we will get pain sensation. So when accidentally needle or thorn or any pen is pricked, immediately we will withdraw our hand. At that time, we will not get pain. After being withdrawn, our hand or leg or anything, then we will get the pain sensation. Why? It will take some time to carry the information from that particular site to pain center of the brain. So after that, we will get pain. So generally, in our day-to-day life, if any accident happened, at the time of incident, we would not get any pain. After some time, we will get pain. These are all called examples of reflex action. Next, reflex arc. Reflex arc. Neuronal pathway which is involved in reflex actions are called reflex arc. Or else structural and functional unit of the reflex actions are called reflex arc. Two definitions, any definitions you can write. Neuronal pathway which is involved in reflex actions. That particular pathway is called reflex arc. Whatever may be the neurons are involved in passing the reflex actions, those neuronal pathway is called reflex arc. The structural and functional unit of the reflex actions are called reflex arc. Impulses, impulses or information in reflex arc always flow in single direction. Okay, within single direction only we can show two responses. We will withdraw hand and immediately that pain or pricking or something we will sense. Within single direction only. Impulses in reflex arc always flow in single direction. With that single direction only, we can grasp complete pain sensation. That is the miracle for our body nervous system. That kind of a arrangement has given by God. Okay, so see here, reflex arc. The reflex arc consists of various parts. mainly consists of 5 parts. Reflex arc mainly consists of 5 parts. Through those 5 parts, reflex actions are passed to effector organs or muscles or glands or various our body parts. So those 5 reflex arc parts, if you will see, we can get very complete information. Reflex arc. Reflex arc consists of 5 parts. 5 parts. One is receptor. Receptor. Generally, receptor applies on skin only. Receptors. That is nothing but skin. Receptors. That is nothing but skin. Receptors. On skin only, we will give stimulations. Okay. First one is receptors. Second one is afferent neurons. These are also called sensory neurons. Short form I written. Sensory neurons. Because here I have to provide sensory neurons. Next, third one is interneurons. Interneurons also called intermediate neurons. So these in which it is associated with the spinal cord and posterior extension of the brain. Posterior extension of brain. Posterior extension of brain. Fourth part. It is afferent. It is efferent. Efferent neuron. This is also called motor neurons. MN means motor neurons. Lastly, effectors which present in muscle. So through which reflex actions are passed. So impulses in the reflex arc passes only in single direction. The sequence of reflexes in reflex arc is through these 5 parts. Now I will draw diagram. See that. Here, it's this we may connect it to leg, hand, nose, chin, any body part. Okay, so leg, if we will prick, if we will apply stimulations, so this stimulus is passed through reflex arc. So here its continuation, we may draw leg, knee, barefoot, hand, whatever it is. Okay, so mainly this is. So this is the reflex arc diagram. In this one, here initially here, It is first one what? Effector, skin, effector. Next, this is what? Second part afferent neuron. Here, dorsal root ganglion. Dorsal root ganglion. That means what? It is the second afferent neuron, sensory neurons. So sensory neuron cell body is called dorsal root ganglion. In this one, we need not mention. In diagram, generally we will mention. Okay? Dorsal root ganglion means what? Here, afferent neuron, sensory neuron, cell bodies are called dorsal root ganglion. Next, it is third one, interneurons. Interneurons. So interneurons I said already. These are present in the spinal cord. Interneurons are associated with the spinal cord and posterior extension of the brain. From the posterior extension of the brain passes through the spinal cord. Those are called interneurons are intermediate neurons. These are called motor neurons. Here, afferent neurons also called motor neurons. From the motor neurons, finally, effector. Like this way, muscle. So in this one, connections will be there. Nerve connections and spread to various body parts. So this is called reflex action. Reflex arc. Through reflex arc, reflexes are passed in flow in single direction. Let us see first receptors. Reflex arc consists of 5 parts I said. So in those 5 parts, first one is this is receptors. So in our body skin, number of receptors are there. When we hit, stimulations are applied. When stimulations are applied here, pricked here, that reflexes pass through. This is second what I said, afferent neurons. It is afferent neurons. Afferent neurons also called sensory neurons. So these stimulations, impulses, when applied stimulus. So in this particular place, stimulus applied. So due to the stimulus, here impulse is generated, not the impulse. So those impulses pass through afferent neurons and reach to the interneurons in the spinal cord. So actually, if we see here, it is spinal cord. So if you will see clearly, it is like this. So it is central canal. It is gray matter. Actually, it is gray matter. It is white matter. Already, as you know that it brain surface, outer surface of the brain is gray, inner is white. Whereas in spinal cord, inner is gray, outer is white. This is white part. Inner, this is entire is gray matter. Okay. So it is one vertical column transfer section drawn like this way. 26 sequentially arranged vertical columns are there. Vertebra is there. From those 26, one vertebral column inside part like this way. It will be visible. Okay, so the impulses are reaching to the interneurons. From the interneurons, so impulses reaching to the interneurons in the spinal cord. In the spinal cord, nerve impulses are carried by nerve fibers to the brain. Okay, so next, so those interneurons passes these information to the next reflex arc, that is motor neurons or efferent neurons. So from the efferent neurons, these impulses are passed to the effector organs. This is what effector organs. Effector organs are muscles or glands or other body parts. In such a way, reflex actions are passed within 0.6 to 7 seconds. Okay, reflex actions are allows our body to respond immediately, spontaneously, without the proper conscious involvement of higher centers of the brain. Those are called reflex actions. So, neuronal pathway, whatever may be the neuronal pathway involved in passing the reflex actions, that is called reflex arc. Through reflex arc, nerve impulses are passed in one direction. The sequence of reflex actions through reflex arc is reflex arc. Receptors to afferent neurons to interneurons to efferent neurons to effector organs. So the effector organs receives reflex actions and immediately shows response. Okay, this is called reflex arc. Okay, that's all. Next, types of reflexes. Types of reflexes. Types of reflexes. Types of reflexes. In mammals, wide range of reflexes are commonly generated. These are all the reflexes are broadly classified into two types. Broadly classified into two types of reflexes. One is unconditional reflexes. Another one is conditional reflexes. Unconditional reflexes. Another one is conditional reflexes. Conditional reflexes. First of all, let me talk about unconditional reflexes. Unconditional reflexes, the reflexes which are passed, which are obtained by birth, those are called unconditional reflexes. So when we are born, newly born infant child, if you will observe, those reflexes are present. Those kind of reflexes are called unconditional reflexes. What are those unconditional reflexes? If they will see food, their mouth will release saliva. Just before taking milk, automatically they will get their mouth is saliva. Saliva is released. So if they get any pain sensation, they will cry. These are all called unconditional reflexes. Okay, these reflexes nobody will taught with the specific institutions. By birth, some reflexes are obtained. Such kind of reflexes are called unconditional reflexes. For example, crying, soon after seeing food, though it is the first time, automatically in mouth getting saliva, pain sensation, responding to injection, pain, and next hot water, cold water. These are all called unconditional reflexes. Automatically, that kind of reflexes are called unconditional reflexes. Next, conditional reflexes. So these reflexes, learning by doing. These reflexes are obtained. These reflexes are received. Learning by doing. Learning by doing, who will opt some reflexes. Such kind of reflexes are called conditional reflexes. A classical example of conditional reflexes is what is that? Jana Gana Mana national anthem. So whenever if we hear any place national anthem, Immediately we will stand in attention position and we will sing Janagana Mana Adinayaka Jaya Hai. This is called learning by doing. In regularly doing, by doing, we will learn. Such kind of reflex is called conditional reflexes. About conditional reflexes, the famous Russian psychological scientist Ivan Pavlov, Russian famous scientist, psychological scientist Ivan Pavlov conducted experiments and proved that conditional reflexes. This experiment first time he performed on dog. On dog. What is this experiment? So he took for his experiment one dog. So for the dog he could not provide food for 2 days. So when he could not provide food for 2 days, then automatically the dog gets severe hungry. At the same time angry also. So since 2 days he could not provide any food to the dog, third day he showed food to the dog. Soon after seeing food, the dog started secreting saliva. That is one he connected. Next day, so he given ring the bell and given food to the dog. He ring the bell and given food to the dog. So automatically the dog mind what adjustment happened? Yes, when the bell will ring, I will get the food. Like that it was conditioned. It is adjusted to the, adapted to the bell. Like that it was happened. It was psychologically fixed. Like that 10 days he made it, giving ring the bell and supplying the food. He giving bell and supplying the food. So dog automatically adjusted. When bell will ring, I will get the food. In such a way, so conditionally it was adjusted, adopted for one method. Like that 10 days he has repeated same process. Ringing the bell and supplying the food. Ringing the bell and supplying the food. Ringing the bell and supplying the food. In such a way he repeated 10 days. After 10 days, and he changed his experiment. What? He gave the bell, he rang the bell, but he could not supply the food. In past 10 days, the dog psychologically fixed for bell. When bell will ring, I will get the food. Next 11th day, he ring the bell, but he could not supply the food. Then what happened? In the dog mouth, saliva is secreted. This is called conditional reflex. So no need to see dog. Even for us also, when 1 o'clock becomes, daily we used to take food at 1 o'clock. Like that way, 2 months, 3 months, we adopted. On 3rd month, when 1 o'clock becomes, automatically our body sends some signals. Those signals will make us disturb. However, we were in a deep work. Those are called conditional reflexes. Conditional reflexes are adapted to our body, learning by doing. Okay, this is called conditional reflexes. Next topic is sensory reception and processing. Sensory reception and processing. In our body, different types of sense organs are present for specific senses. Those sense organs are, first one is eye. Eye is for vision, to see our surroundings. Ear for hearing, hearing the sounds. Next, nose for smell, for smell. Tongue to detect the taste. specific sense organs are present to perform specific senses in our body. So among those, first one is eye, human eye. The human eye is about 2.5 centimeters in diameter. From here to here is called diameter. Its diameter is 2.5 centimeters in diameter. It weighs about 7 grams. 7 grams weight. Okay. It is generally the human eye is spherical shaped structure. Sir, you are saying that spherical shaped structure, but it seems to be shaped. No, like this. But actually, it is spherical shaped structure. Human eye is spherical shaped structure, and it is located in the bony socket of the skull. Eye is located in the bony socket of the skull. It is bony socket of the skull called orbit. Where human eye is accommodated, that entire place is called orbit. So the human eye consists of different types of tissues. These tissues are arranged in three concentric circles. Within those three concentric circles, the human eye is located. Okay, that's all. So this is the introductory part of eye. Those three concentric circles, tissues,